Hello everyone! In this video we will discuss how to teach polysemy through human body parts. Specifically, we will talk about the use of the word head. How often do you come across the word head and struggle to figure out its meaning in a context? What do you do usually? Do you check it in a dictionary? Well, you don't have to. Let's take a look at some of the meanings of the word head. The division of a human body that contains the brain, the eyes, the ears, the nose, and the mouth. The head considered as the center of intellect, like a clear head. The source of a river or stream, as in the head of a stream. A part essential to life. A headache, like he has a head means he has a headache. The length of a head as a measure. The part of a weapon, tool, like the head of a hammer. The foremost part or front end of anything, an end of something regarded as the upper or higher end, each one among a number, the director of an institution, like the head of the school, the part of anything that forms or is regarded as forming the top, summit, a person considered with reference to his or her mind, like wise head, being the opposite of foot, like head of a bed. The hair covering the head. He combed his head, meaning he combed the hair. So, as you see, the word head is highly polysemous. Now, what is polysemy? It is the capacity for a word or phrase to have multiple meanings, usually related to the core meaning. Let's take a look at this model. And we call this the solar model of polysemous nouns. Why solar model? Because if you observe, you'll see that it kind of resembles the sun, right? So in this model, the core meaning, the word head, is source of developing various meanings of the word head. And actually, these meanings are not scattered all around. They are related, right? Related to the core meaning of the word head. And the way they are related takes us to linguistics. Because this kind of network, like the link between the core meaning and the derived meaning, is through the semantic component. Let's take a look at how the core meaning of the word, develops other meanings. Let's observe some of the meanings of the word head. The cream on standing milk, foam at the top, main division of a subject, topic, upper or higher end of something, the source of a river, stream, summit or upper end, the opposite of foot, and so on. If you observe carefully, you'll see that all these meanings share something in common, and that is being the upper part of something. So, being the upper part of something is a semantic component, okay? And this semantic component is responsible for developing these meanings of the word head. So, this is how it happens actually. So, we have the semantic component, and all these words, all these meanings are derived from this semantic component. And this is how it was illustrated in the illustration above, and this is how actually it forms. Let's take a look at other semantic components of the word head. Being the division of the human body is the main semantic component. Being the seat of intellect, being means of measurement, happening in the head, as we saw in an example above, headache, right? It's developed from this semantic component. Being the upper part of something, having the function of a head, right? As in the head of a school or head of an organization. Resembling the shape of a head, as in the head of lettuce. Growing from a head, as we saw in an example above, the hair, he combed his head, right? Meaning he combed his hair. Being the place where head rests, being the seat of life, and being the front part of something. All these semantic components develop the meanings of the word head. So you might ask, why do we need this linguistics in our ESL classroom, right? What is the use of it, okay? Is it helpful at all? Well, actually, it helps learners to identify the sense of the word. It assists learners to visualize the relationships among the meanings, and it facilitates the longer retention process of the word's length. If we show these illustrations, show how the core meanings develop the various meanings, then it will be easier for the students to figure out what this or that word might mean in the context. Let's take a quick quiz to make sure we understand the semantic components. So which meanings are derived from this semantic component? And the semantic component is being the seat of intellect. Let's take a look at some of the examples and try to figure out which ones are connected to being the seat of intellect. He's the head of the company. I did figuring in my head. It's a wise head that makes no mistakes. He was sitting at the head of the table. This head of lettuce is huge. Okay, take a minute. So I did the figuring in my head, and it's a wise head that makes no mistakes are the meanings that are related, developed from the semantic component being the seat of intellect. Let's do the last one. Which meanings are derived from this semantic component? And that is having the function of a head. So what's the function of a head? To manage, right? To manage the body. The head of the department is on leave. Stacks yearly cast their heads. The head of a pin is round. He used to be the head of the household. The head of the organization is newly appointed. And these meanings are derived from the semantic component having the function of a head, right? So in the first one, the head of the department, so the head is like the one who manages the department. The second one, he used to be the head of the household, like he was the one who managed the things around the house. And the head of the organization, the one who is running the organization. Okay, so just to summarize, again, this illustration that we presented today here illustrates how the meanings are derived from the core meaning of the word, and we call this the solar model of polysemous nouns. And actually, when you take a look at the meanings of the word, just try to think about how these meanings might be derived from the core meaning and how are they related. Does it kind of illustrate the same as we presented today? Okay, so thank you very much, and don't forget to head to part 3.